18 days. Some residents of Jackson, Mississippi, without running water for 18 days. Winter storms did a number on the capital city's aging water pipes. People there saying they can't bathe, cook, or wash their dishes. Forget about drinking from the tap. NBC News correspondent Morgan Radford is in Jackson with the latest.
Allison, we're here at a local high school in Jackson, Mississippi, where you can see these National Guard tanker trucks that were brought in to bring in the water. And this is because the people here in Jackson have basically been waking up to a nightmare every single day for almost 3 weeks now. There are nearly 200,000 residents here in Jackson who still do not have drinkable water and thousands who don't have any running water at all. That's why you're seeing donations like these cases of plastic bottles of water just to help people get by, people who have been having to put buckets out just to collect rainwater, and now they're using bottles like this to do their daily basic necessities, like brushing their teeth and washing their hands. Take a listen to what some of them told me.
So this rainwater came on Monday, and I had been praying for the rain so that I wouldn't have to go to distribution sites to collect water.
And so you brought these buckets out to actually collect water from the rain?
To collect water from the rain, yes, ma'am.
And what do you do with this water once the rainfall comes?
So I take the smaller buckets and fill the larger buckets, and then I use a bucket to carry it in to flush the toilet.
And so you're using this water to flush the toilet. Are you bathing with this water?
This is only for flushing the toilet.
Okay, and what are you washing your hands with and brushing your teeth with?
I brush my teeth and wash my hands with bottled water. I put it in the microwave for a little while, and then I just pour it over the sink as a flow and wash my hands and brush my teeth that way.
NBC News reached out to the governor's office several times to get a response, but we still have not heard back. In the meantime, residents say they still don't have a definitive end in sight. They don't know when all water will be restored to everyone here in the city. Allison?
All right, let's bring in State Representative Ronnie Crudup Jr., a Democrat whose district includes Jackson, the state's capital city. Representative Crudup, thank you so much for being with us. This is the third week that thousands of people in Jackson are without running water. I understand your family was among them. Tell us how bad the crisis is there. And I think the number one question everyone has, when will that water be back on?
Well, thank you for having me this opportunity to be able to talk about this issue. It was pretty bad. You know, it's a humanitarian crisis right now that we're going into our third week with no running water, and we really don't know when it's going to end. People are still trying to get water, bottled water out. People are still trying to find hotel rooms and to shower and bathe and just have the basic necessities of life. And so we take water for granted so many times, but we can definitely see now we've experienced water is definitely a necessity that we need.
Yeah, you go without it for 16, 18 days, and you'll appreciate water more than ever. Let me ask you about the situation there in Jackson. I understand more than a quarter of folks in the city live in poverty. The city is more than 80% black. The Daily Beast reporting that residents without water are noticing that this crisis is hitting in the South and the West the hardest, leaving the predominantly white part of the city relatively unscathed. Jackson has a history of infrastructure problems. So let me ask you, what is happening in your state's capital city? Is that what you are seeing there?
Yeah, you know, we've always had infrastructure issues over the years. I've lived in Jackson all of my life, and the sad reality is, going a couple of days without water is nothing new after a major winter storm. But this is the first time we've had it go for this long. We've never had this long experience going, like I said, in our third week now. Usually we'll go a day or two for boil water notices and things of that nature. But, this has really put a real burden on a lot of Jacksonians. A lot of people are already in poverty and people can't afford the basic necessities. Yeah. A lot of people don't have vehicles to even get to the water spot. So we're trying to really rally the community to get behind to go and deliver water to senior citizens and everything that the basic folks really need. So people have really been stepping up in the community, churches, businesses, politicians, everybody. Our community has really just rallied together to take care of our basic needs here in the city.
Are you seeing, though, that black and brown communities in Jackson are being affected by this more so than white communities?
Yes, I will say that I definitely see that black and brown people are being affected more, but a lot of that has to do with, the economics. A lot of, there's a lot of poverty in the West and South Jackson part of town. Jobs have left, a lot of businesses have left. And so that's why people are really affected. And so, but like I said, we do a lot to take care of our citizens, from our church, from our businesses that are still here located. We got some resilient people. And so we're not going to try to play the race card on this one. What we're going to try to do is making sure that people have what they need and just try to help bring our economic basis up. We need jobs. People need health care, all of those things. And so that's what we're really searching for.
Jackson's mayor is saying that updating the city's century-old water system will cost $2 billion, which is more than 6 times the city's annual budget. So what is the solution here? How do you fix that system, prevent this from happening again with a cost like that?
Well, we need to really get together, which we're having a meeting actually tomorrow at the legislature to discuss with some of the colleagues around the state, because with Jackson being the capital city, we have our state capital is in Jackson. And so they're even concerned now, too, of, hey, we cannot continue to have this happen again, because even though a lot of surrounding communities didn't get affected by this, a lot of our legislators actually stay in Jackson where they're in town for the week. And so they have a vested interest as well to see that we have what we need. And so we're having a meeting tomorrow to come up with a really comprehensive plan that we can address these issues. We've kind of kicked the bucket long enough, and I'm really praying that something good comes out of this. Sometimes you need something like this to happen before really people take it serious. So I appreciate my colleagues that have been reaching out to me, finding ways that we can really get this thing done. And hopefully we can put this in a back burner. And if it's a 10-year plan, so be it. But we want to see that this issue is definitely resolved.
Well, Rep, I just have to commend you for your positive attitude, saying maybe something good will come out of this. It seems very representative, forgive the pun, of the folks there in Jackson who seem to be dealing with this incredibly well. Our thoughts and prayers to everyone, and hope that you have your water back soon.
Well, we thank you for this. Thank you for this opportunity to share. Like I mentioned, the people in Jackson are definitely resilient, and we're going to get through this. We've got through hard times before, and so, hey, we're Jackson strong here.
I don't doubt it at all. Thank you so much, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.